What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Rift, Part 3, obviously the finale in the Rift trilogy. And there's a lot to go over in terms of a summary. Gonna try and briefly get through all of it, but if I forget anything, I apologize. It starts off with Sokka going to get Toph's metal bending students so that they can help remove the iron ore and dig them out because Toph is holding it up with all the strength she has in her. While they're going to get the metal bending students and while they're on their way to go help her, she has a talk with Sitaru where we kind of get his backstory. And then she finally has her heart-to-heart talk with her father, which actually kind of reinvigorates her and kind of encourages her to keep going. From there, her metal bending students arrive, and they're able to dig her out by removing the iron ore, and they're able to remove General Old Iron's mask, which was buried there. After this is all over, everyone's kind of recovering and meeting up with, whoever, and apologies and all that, blah, blah, blah. Aang ends up reconnecting with Roku so he can fix the chain and talk to Yang Chen, because Old Iron is coming. And he talks to her, and basically the rules of the ceremony are everything we already knew, plus the island has to be completely preserved, no man-made bullshit, no humans, it has to be 100% there because it needs to be preserved and peaceful and show that humans can have balance and blah 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 and all that stuff. And that's clearly not the case, so Aang wants to destroy everything, which, well, he doesn't want to, but he feels that he needs to. Toph's been unconscious for a while, so she doesn't know what's going on. When Aang tries to destroy the factory, she tries to stop Aang. General fucking Old Iron's just getting closer and closer as Sitaru and Sokka engage in an action scene with Sitaru's uncle. All kinds of things are happening at once. It's a storm, which the art looked great during all the raining sections. That was great. The only character who really doesn't participate in this big final battle is Katara, and that's not really that big of a deal. And that's pretty much the whole thing. Once everything's said and done, after the final battle with General Old Iron, he passes away or is going to be reborn or whatever. Aang has a conversation with, I don't know her name, but it was the former friend of Old Iron that was overseeing the village, and the one who has the statue built of her. Aang has a conversation with her about humanity and spirits living together and the hope and all that. And then Aang decides to kind of reboot the Avatar Chang Festival. And it's like, meat is allowed now, and the music is different, and it's not just airbenders or anything. It's like the same ceremony, but reinvented. So Aang kind of invented a holiday, or redefined a holiday, which is kind of a big deal for like a world. I mean, because we have holidays for people who did big things in our world. I mean, we have stupid ones like Columbus Day, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that's the basic summary. So the things I really liked. General Old Iron, dude, when he shows up in the rain, like Sokka and Sitaru were just standing there and they look at this guy, he looks so badass, like the intensity on his face, his mustache, beard, his Wolverine hair with ponytail, his gusto and intensity are just fantastic. I love his design, I think he looks like a fucking beast. So there's that, and then he gets his mask on and all that stuff. He looks badass when he's armored up too, but I like his design without the armor also. I think he looks really fucking beastly, like a badass old guy. Which, as you guys know, I'm a fan of the badass old guys. Aang's fight with him is very cool. It's brief, but I liked Aang making the big rock Megazord fucking Pacific Rim style thing. They get into a fist fight, Toph jumping in. That final blow that Aang dealt to him with all the elements at once was very badass. I love Sokka just taking that guy and throwing him on the ground. That was really cool for some reason. It's like seeing Sokka do some hand-to-hand shit. I really liked that. Of course, Toph's conversation with her dad. He apologizes for everything and he cries. And I don't believe she teared up at that point, but it definitely reinvigorated her. She was like, no, Dad, if you knew who I was, you'd know I'm the best earthbender in the world. I got this. And yeah, kind of cool seeing the metal bending students again. They're fine still. As I said, the action was cool. I like the reinventing of the holiday. The backstory for the chick who had the statue built out of her, how she found a guy she fell in love with and decided to stay mortal and then died. And that's why, because dude, Old Iron thought they killed her. It turned out she passed away, and the king, because he said in the flashback, I'm responsible for her death, he felt responsible because she fell in love with him and chose to be mortal because of him and died a mortal's death because of him. So it was kind of just like a misworded misunderstanding thing, and What's his name apparently is going to be reborn. General Old Iron. He doesn't have no spirit ever like dies. They are always reborn. So that's cool, I guess. Pointless stuff like Katara and her friends from the Southern Water Tribe. That entire subplot could easily be cut completely. It takes up barely any pages. It goes almost nowhere. All that ends up happening is they say, no, we were being idiots. It's fine that you helped the Avatar. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Really pointless. It doesn't detract too much from the overall package. Because like I said, they didn't waste too much time on it. But since they didn't waste too much time on it, you could pretty much cut it out entirely. It's almost like filler, but whatever. Because I can't even say it expanded Katara or Sokka's character, or even these new characters that were introduced, you know. The uncle, still a greedy asshole who doesn't understand the gravity of the situation, so cliche, so generic. When he gets his life saved by Katara slash Sataru, he kind of turns over a new leaf. That, whatever, fine. Sataru's backstory. Now, his backstory's not that interesting. I mean, it's kind of cool, you know, he's not orphaned, he runs away, he's homeless, his uncle helps him out. When he says his parents joined an organization called the New Ozai Society, like this underground rebellion, that's way too specific. That's gotta be set up for something. There's no way that that's just some little bullshit thing that they made up. Like, no way. Like the New Ozai Society. That's got to be something big later on in like another comic book storyline they're gonna make. I caught that. I think that's what I'm theorizing because that just stood out too much to me. But anyway, that's the important part about his backstory. Nothing to do with him. Just something that his parents were a part of. And Toph also defending the factory for her dad. Their relationship is, you know, better. He kind of has accepted her for who she is and everything. That's cool. Aang and her's little brief fight, it's fine. It didn't last too long. I'm glad about that. But yeah, overall, it was really, really cool. The overall package of The Rift, I don't think it's the best written of the three. I think it's about tied with The Promise for me. I don't remember what The Promise is. Well, I think I gave The Promise like almost an 11 out of 10 because of its fantastic ending. This had a great ending too, but it wasn't as good as The Promises. It didn't bring everything together as well as the Promise trilogy did, but it was still really fun. It was still really enjoyable. I liked it a lot. Aang in the Avatar state is always cool, and actually see him, that finishing blow, that's like the finishing blow that he almost gave Ozai before he did the energy bending, where he takes all the elements into one big spiral and just slams them, and it was kind of cool to actually see that attack performed. So, yeah, that was awesome. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this thing. It was really cool, it was really fun, but it's not the best trilogy they've written. I still think The Search is the best one. But for this chapter, I'd probably give it a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was above good, highly good, great even. What is my 9 rating? Like an amazing? I think 10 is an amazing, and 11 is like a what the fuck jizz worthy. So yeah, I'll give it like a 9, call it an amazing, or a 9 point. No, I'll give it a 9. That sounds about right. Because there are some things I didn't like the uncle and the fucking water tribe chicks. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was an amazing chapter of Avatar The Last Airbender. And yeah, my overall rating for the entire trilogy together, I'd say it's like an 8.5. It's a very good little trilogy. It's not quite as good as I said, The Promise or The Search, but it's still very, very enjoyable. And I'll see what they write next. This one didn't have like a little preview at the end, like coming March, blah, 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 or June, blah, 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 the next part of the story. So I don't know if this is the last one. I don't think it is. It just doesn't wrap up in a way that you'd be like, okay, this is the new ending of the Avatar story. I feel like they're probably going to do maybe another trilogy or just keep it going as long as they want, as long as it's profitable. And I hope they do this with The Legend of Korra as well. I'd love to see that continue past where it left off. Although, without giving too much away, the Korra and Asami thing, I don't know how far you can really take that going further with Nickelodeon, so eh. But, yeah, dragging on this review long enough. Let's go. Thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think of Avatar The Last Airbender, The Rift Part 3, and the entire Rift trilogy. Tell me what you think of it in the comments section below. Follow me on Instagram if you would please. Rate this video. A thumbs up would be awesome. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you've liked what you've seen here. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.